Guten Titi für Rock. Guten Tag, guten Titi für Rock. Don't know where that came from, but it's right on time. Sorry, I was watching, good morning. I was watching, what's that guy who goes around the streets in New York? My housemate Morgan introduced me to him. Ari, something with Ari. Yeah, anyway, he has like a whole rig that he walks around New York with, and he just like gets people, like he makes music and he gets people like random strangers like rapping and singing, and his fucking talent is immense out there. And speaking of talent, nice segue, Frisia. I've written this down. I have a song on a fantastic new album release today. And I'm going to spell his name for you because I don't want to fuck it up. Sorry, mate. Anyway, let me spell it. Yuzarseef. Right? Artist name. His album is called Quicksand Kinetic, and I've got a track on there called Butterflies. I think it's called Butterflies, something like that. And I fucking love it. It's a really cool drum and bass track. His album's really cosmic. I've just had a listen to a little bit of it, but it's on Spotify. And obviously you can buy it other platforms too. And he's just a really cool guy. It's like cosmic dub kind of fucking all kinds of good shit. Okay. If you want to check out his profile, it's in my Instagram stories, so go check it out. Go check out my track on there, and go buy his album and stream it. He's a fucking nice guy, cool guy, cosmic, tapped in, turned on. Yeah, baby. And let's get tapped in and turned on today with another chapter of Let Go Now. Another chapter, another page, another lesson. Right, okay. We need to go deep today, deeper. Yeah. I bloody did a pause and reflect page again. Oh my god, I opened up on it's the same page from another lesson, so we have to do it again. Rewind. A page that I haven't landed on already, a lesson I haven't landed on, please. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Detachment lesson 87. Detachment. This is quite a long one. Detachment is respecting the boundaries between yourself and others. The first time I heard people talking about the importance of having boundaries was in a 12-step meeting, and I was pretty confused. It was a term I was unfamiliar with, and even as I heard people share, I didn't understand their terminology or what they were distressed about. To me, a boundary meant something physical, like the hedges that separated the properties in many neighborhoods. But I knew this wasn't the meaning they were referring to. I spent my life not knowing anything about boundaries. And when I learned about boundaries, boy, that was a game changer. Really opened up my world. And I realized, oh, I'm allowed to think for myself, speak for myself, act on my own volition. I don't have to please everyone all the time, or I don't have to be quiet or go along with what everyone else wants. Even though I still have those tendencies, I'm more aware of them now because of boundaries. So thank you, boundaries. Anyway, let's continue. And sorry if you can hear the washing machine in the next room, because I can bloody hear that. Let's try and ignore it. After listening to members of the group talk for the whole hour, I was finally able to glimpse that my life was being sabotaged by the unclear boundaries between me and others. I realized that this was how I had always lived, in fact. Yeah, it's a hard habit to break, but it's not impossible. It just takes practice and, conscious awareness. I left the meeting not knowing if I would or should return. Yeah, because some people can feel threatened by that idea of sovereignty and self-ownership, and also feel like cheated and bruised by the fact they've been living their lives boundaryless. It's quite a big revelation to have, and some people feel threatened by that, you know, wanting to feel the safety of something that's uncomfortable but still familiar, you know. I think we can all relate to that. I had never sought boundaries before this time. I had preferred enmeshment. Yeah. I had preferred enmeshment, actually. It meant you needed me, that I was the center of your life. Boundaries meant we were unnecessary to each other, and I was terrified of being unnecessary. And I think this is where martyrdom and the martyr complex can come in, you know, when you feel like you need to be everything to everyone, and you overcompensate and overstretch yourself, overextend yourself at the behest of others, whether they've asked you or not, and you drain your battery clean dry and there's nothing left for yourself, but you're constantly giving it to others. And then if you develop the false or the perception that, they owe me now, I've given this to you, now where's my return on that exchange of energy, of gift, of time, of emotional input? And it's a dangerous, sticky trap, because if you rely on external factors to make you happy, to make you feel complete and whole, you wind up massively ruining relationships, sabotaging your life, and never developing that strength and that self-confidence, that self-esteem, self-worth, that self-love that you need. You need that as a solid foundation, as the basis for everything in your life. Because if you don't have that and you're relying on the external, it's a constant downward spiral, and then you're constantly overgiving, getting pissed off that you're not getting anything in return. You know, I'm not talking like just physical I'm talking like emotional investment, mental investment, psychological investment. And yeah, it's not a nice place to be, but it's really good when you can recognize that's a pattern that you've been playing out, and that you can change that. It takes time, but you can change it. Just baby steps. Okay. So boundaries meant we were unnecessary to each other, and I was terrified of being unnecessary. That was how my life had felt for decades, and I had tried for years to deaden the pain of being invisible. Ooh, yeah. My lack of success was what brought me into the very 12-step meeting where I heard about boundaries for the first time. The dilemma was unavoidable. I wanted to live without pain, but how? I look back on this first meeting as God's answer to my search for freedom from the pain that had haunted me for years. We are always being led to the place where wisdom awaits us if we believe in the possibility that there is a solution that's perfect for us and healthy for us, good for our mental well-being, our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, as much as the people we interact with, you know. Again, it's about imposing your will in a way that is suffocating, that is, you know, not what people asked for. And then when they do ask for your help, being able to do that in a way where your reserves are full, or at least somewhat, you know, stocked, before you give from an empty vessel, because that doesn't yield the right help for them anyway, and it doesn't make you feel good afterwards. You sort of, some people, you know, if you've had an emotional dump with someone, you know, you might want to go for a nap, or you feel exhausted or drained in some way. I know I've had in the past. And also when I've been the problem, you know, I've been problematic for people in the past too. And we all have that, you know, we can flip from both. And it's just about that awareness of where is our emotional center today? Do we have the time and energy to give to someone? And if we don't, we have to, you know, go and, you know, sort ourselves out, replenish ourselves, and then, you know, say, look, I'd love to do this, but I just need like a little bit of time, and then we'll come back and we'll reconvene, and I would love to, you know, help you or talk to you, or, you know, do all that sort of stuff. But you do have to take care of yourself first. You really do. It doesn't mean you don't care about others, because you can still care, but you have to be able to fill your cup first, you know. It is important. I believe that respecting the boundaries between us is what actually allows us to come together in ways that really matter. We are students and teachers interchangeably, yes, but we must not blur the lines between us, in exactly what I was just saying there. all of those lessons and learnings are crucial, and we all go through them. The different machinations of psychological and emotional and mental progress and healing. And healing is not linear, by the way. It's some days you're great, some days you're shit, some days you regress. It's not like this perfect picture. We're allowed to be messy, fallible beings. It's fine. Healing isn't a destination. It's just an awareness that, like meditation or like a self-care practice that you implement on a daily basis, it becomes ritualistic in acknowledging where you're at today and being able to use your barometer of emotion and thought to be able to determine what needs to happen now for the benefit of myself and others who I care about. Okay, so detachment lesson 87. I hope that helped. Have a lovely day. Lots of love.